Greetings, 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 grand rising, grand setting, whatever. This is Deanne coming at you live from the Valley of the Sun. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, including Valentine's Day. I put it in quotes because there's some uh, understanding, overstanding as to who Saint Valentine was. So, without going into that, um, so I think some people celebrated, I didn't. It was just another Sunday. So, took an evening off from yesterday to kind of reflect and everything on my use of this platform and the success of this platform. So I'm going to still come to you maybe Sunday. Well, I'm sorry, maybe Monday through Thursday, just Monday through Thursday. I have some other business I'm taking care of right now, so it's going to perhaps be a little adjustment in my schedule. So I'm going to come at you live uh, Monday through Thursday. So let's go with that a few weeks and we'll kind of get back with the 5 days. So as time permits and my schedule permits. But I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend as I did. We've had a couple of things going on in the family, not my immediate family, but uh, a family member from our childhood, his wife passed. And this was someone I was, you know, right there with the birth of the two children that they had. And that was sad to hear of her passing. So, life continues and death and life, the cycle of life and death. So, um, we send the family blessings from afar. I think my brother's going up there today or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, somewhere in there. So this is a childhood friend. So I don't think he was in their wedding, but I know Derek was a groomsman. My brother had two, so I'm thinking Derek was one. Could be right, but anyway. So he's going up there to represent the family, and it's just sadness, because I think I mentioned that her daughter is expecting her first grandchild, what would have been her first grandchild, in a few months. So that was even more so, always death is, a little challenging period. And then knowing that her daughter, her only daughter, is expecting. So we send the family love and peace and in this during this time. So with that said, let's go ahead and read the fair use disclaimer because we're going to go in on a couple of things that happened over the weekend. So let's go ahead and do that. So copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance of favor of fair use. Favor of fair use. So, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, everyone's up in arms, on Facebook and a couple of other platforms I'm on about the I don't think acquittal, the acquittal of Donald J. Trump. Is anyone surprised? If you are surprised, you're not paying attention. So if you are literally surprised, you're not paying attention. I expected it. I knew that this was going to happen. Pardon for the background. I did not go downstairs where I have the better backdrop of my living room, but it is what it is. So, but I'm not surprised. I mean, how could you be surprised? The fact that white men are involved, even though I think 6 people, 5 or 6, it wasn't 7, so I know it was 6 or 5, something like that, died or was killed or whatever of their people, folks that look like them. But Trump is a white male, older white male. And this is what has always been the deal in this country, definitely. So I'm not understanding the, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. No, where have you been living? People definitely over 40, 50 years old. You've been on this planet a long time, and you'll be on the planet longer. But how is it that you, in your right mind, don't see the hypocrisy throughout this whole 500 plus years in this country? They don't play by the rules. They definitely don't. In all areas. So it's not just judicial. We should know firsthand. Judicial system, really? Thank the Lord, I've never been on the other side of prison or jail or arrested. So I don't even know that mindset or that energy that surrounds in any of those situations, because I have not been on that. I've been on the other side of law. I try to see police. I go farther as I can see them, so I don't have to be in the way of their chaos and confusion. So this city came under fire because Black Lives Matter. I saw something on TMZ, and this was probably 3 or 4 days ago. So if you have TMZ or have, social media platform, you can find it. But it was, excuse me, an audio that they didn't know, the police officers did not know that they were being recorded. They never do. So this one person said they wanted to stomp them, and Black Lives Matter, that is. So every judicial system, every police department is suspect, but when it comes time to make a case, a strong case, the Senate, the senators, it fell in the Senate. It passed in, I believe, I don't think I'm misspeaking. The House passed and it went to the Senate and it failed in the Senate, the conviction. Why did you think that they would convict Donald J. Trump no matter what he does? It doesn't make it doesn't make any difference, because they are beyond reproach. It's spinning. We are spinning our wheels if we think that this is going to change the trajectory of what's going to happen ongoing, because they don't even play by their own rules. The fact that 5 people or 6 were, either killed, stomped on, I'm trying to say, stomped on, or some, certain circumstances. This one terrorist, I think they shot her. That was the only person that they shot. But with all that chaos and confusion, totally, they didn't shoot but maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe one. But had that been Black Lives Matter, oh, no, 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 no. See, we know our fate when we would do something like that. But see, the audacity, the nerve of this, they're saying, what are they calling it? Like, I'm calling it domestic terrorists. That's what they were. That's who they are. And, you know, Trump didn't even try to cover up his bias. He doesn't try to cover up the treatment. He knew those terrorists would be treated differently because of who they were and who they are. Clearly. That's the only reason. Sorry, I got some stuff in my nose. I'm trying not to blow my nose. Okay. But he knew how racist this country is. He knows full well it wasn't going to be a bloodbath. Had it been Black Lives Matter, uprising of the Black Panther Party, whatever, it would have been a bloodbath. Let's keep it simple. So the fact that we should know that. I don't understand. When I was on Facebook earlier, they're like, can you believe it? Blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I can. I mean, I've been in this country, quote unquote, all my life, and this lifetime, lived many, many other lifetimes before, but this lifetime I've been in this country, and we know how they get down. We know how they get down. We know how they get down, and they make it plain. They keep it simple. They make it plain. They're racist. End of it. Now, if you happen to live into, quote, a progressive area, you might not see it front and center, but theoretically and in practice, this is a racist country. There was additional information on January 6th. If you go back to the footage, that would show you proof positive where we are and how they treat Black and brown people and how they treat Caucasians. No, you didn't see a battery of bullets going up to that Capitol when they were, rioting and trying to get access, and got access to, I'm sorry, the that particular building. So the Capitol, the Capitol. And they were the intention was to certify the election. And so they did it on that day. So Trump was not found guilty. It failed in the Congress. So that's a tarnish. Not so much that this country should ever be tarnished, duh. But this is a tarnish on the spiritual record, as we talked about a week or so ago. There's a spiritual record, and then there is a physical record, and there's a spiritual record, because this is all being recorded in the universe. And so the injustice of this justice system, the injustice of supposedly the the balance of the what am I trying to say? The scale. No, I'm not going to go with the scale of my aunt, but I'm not going to. I'm going to table that for another section of this talk. But the conversation needs to be had when you're dealing with racist white folks. Not trying to say everyone is racist, Deanne. We're not going to say that because theoretically that is not true. However, the people front and center that make the laws or can change the laws or they back the laws or don't back the laws, that's where it has to change. So that's why I feel this country should theoretically and in all practical purposes be dismantled. The whole shebang needs to go away and we can rebuild. Because I don't see this ever being a just system, especially when it comes to our people, Black and brown people. This is the atrocity. This is the scale of my eye. This is where they keep doing stuff that is not going to bring any peace, joy, liberty, life, etc. They're always doing something to sow division between the races. It didn't start with Biden and Harris in. So I beg to differ. This has been since the inception of this country. They don't know how to be fair. They don't know how to be right. To extend good tidings. They did horrific things to the Native Americans that were here. We had already been here, you know. I mean, there's just been so much proof beyond measure that, the Native Americans and Africans and, Europeans were still in the caves. They didn't know what the heck was going on, We were discovering and developing, timepieces and uses of things, and we're an advanced people. But we're now in this allure of chaos and confusion. We don't know how to live like that. Fundamentally, at our core, we do not know how to live in the way that we're living. To see what we're seeing, the images, the Breonna Taylors, the Trayvon Martins, etc. We don't know how that is to live to shoot someone with no beef, Trayvon Martin. So Zimmerman did not know Trayvon Martin. He was visiting, my understanding, if I go back in time, he was visiting in Florida, happened in Florida. He had a hoodie on. That was his crime. That was his crime. And so Zimmerman took it upon himself to be judge and jury. The young man went and got Arizona tea and Skittles. He didn't, even if he got a 40, but this is the atrocity. This is how things in this country, and this guy got off. Remember, he got off in terms of serving any time. So again, there's been so many sections coming together to send the same message. Black lives don't matter. White lives matter. That's what in their psyche, we see distinctions throughout this country. And it's painful because we built this country. So how dare you disavow our children and our grandmothers and grandfathers, etc. And you don't serve any time, Donald Trump? Are we really surprised? Are we really surprised? We shouldn't be, because we've had examples on top of examples on top of examples on top of examples to say this is not a just system. This is not a just system. This is an unjust. We do not see justice. And that's why I try to stay on the other side of the criminal justice system, because I know it's not just. So as far as a way I can be from that area or that reality, the better. Because a lot of times people, if they have a misjudgment and they hang around the wrong crowd and blah, 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 they have a white boy did the same thing and a black boy. The black kid may get 2 to 5. The white kid probably get probation. This is just what it is. This is what it is. So the way we can liberate ourselves and have a clear understanding who we are and who we were meant to be and designed to be, not to have any attachments. Because when we have attachments, it really depletes our energy. It saddens us on, and now this comes into our body. Our body has a mind separate, and dis-ease or discomfort could come into the body. So we have to be careful, because we see it so much on the workplace, where we live, etc. Maybe not everywhere. I'm not trying to say it's everywhere, but if it happens once, it's happened too many times. So we have to be really mindful and cautious of our surroundings. I've mentioned that before. And we need to walk in twos. I'm back to the Trayvon Martin. I'm not blaming anyone or not accusing, but I think our young people, especially, they're trying to eliminate our population because their population is going down. Okay. And so now we're seeing, if you notice, you're paying attention, you're seeing interracial couples more. You would never see interracial couples, especially there's a Serta commercial out here anyway, and it's got a melanated brother and there's a European looking woman, and they lay back on the bed, the Serta mattress. I think it was Serta. So that wouldn't have happened 40 years ago, 30 years ago, So they're getting really comfortable and bold with we know that we are on our way out genetically. So we're going to mate with you because you have your numbers higher, and therefore you will sustain our life force, melanated brothers and sisters. So, this is where we are. We should not be surprised. We should not be up in arms about, fighting on Facebook or whatever. Can you believe that happened? Yes, I can. I mean, I would have believed that it was less likely for it to happen in the real world, because I know if a layperson had incited violence and all like that, I know it'd be like 10 years minimum. But this is America, front and center. I make no apologies about living in America, because I know our ancestors, your ancestors, built this baby. So, we can go to other lands, that's not necessarily out of the question for me in my lifetime, but I just don't know what the answer is, because I know it's never been just, it's never been quote unquote fair. But we continue to stay here, so I'm questioning that, because I mean, how much more? I mean, we're brilliant in all areas. We're directors now. We produce movies. There's nothing we haven't done. There's nothing, literally nothing we have not done and excelled in. So I say all that to say, is there anything left for us to do in this incarnation, in this country? I mean, we can stay here because it's our right. It's our right because our ancestors built this country by hand, okay? And we're still reaping no benefit, no reparations. And why is that? Why is that? $2 to $5 million a person, that would suit me fine. I'd take my money and be out of this country. I probably would keep my house, because my house, I got people are so bold. I got a text message, side note, I got a text message today to my phone, a text message asking me if I'm interested in selling my home. I mean, they are bold, these Caucasians, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I've been in here 5 years, and I told him, I think it was a female. No, I think it was a guy. I text him back, Daniel. That was his name, Daniel. And he had the address. Boom, 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 boom. So it was, so they look up your number. They find the phone number and they'll text you. And I'm like, huh? So I get letters about my home and my interest and stuff. Now there's no for sale sign in front of my property, but they are. This area is hot, and they 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 don't know who they're dealing with. But anyway, I sent a text back. Let's see if I can pull it up. It was kind of funny. So hey Deanne, my name is Daniel. We're looking to buy properties in your area and wanted to know if you would be interested in selling your home located at boom 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 anytime soon, question mark. Give me a call, see how we can help you. So they're helping me. No, you're helping yourself. Have a blessed day. Hablo español. That's on the text. So then I text back, hello, Daniel. For $1 million cash, I will vacate my home within 72 hours. If you don't have that amount, don't bother me again. It's rude to contact me on a property I don't have listed. I kind of go in because I get a lot of these requests on my property, and I said $1 million cash. I'll be out of this house I put everything on the street, sell things, blah, blah, blah. I'll be out of this house. $1 million cash. I'll be out. If you don't have that, don't holler at me. Don't come for me because I'm not even coming for you. And he's saying, I'd like to help you out. This is the twisted stuff, people trying to always help you out. And my house is not even on the market. Anyway, I went off to another subject. That kind of irritated me. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a moment to just breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. And just recognize where you are, and who you've been dealing with, your ancestors been dealing with. We have always been dealing with this monster. And the sooner we realize that, the better we're going to be. So keep up, keep on keeping on. I'm not trying to say live in despair and woe is me and blah blah. But once we get reparations, it's going to be a new day. And I think that is really what needs to happen. Because don't we send money to whatever, isn't it? The Jews get money from us every few years. Anyway, that's another conversation. But pay the debt that's in this country. This country, our ancestors' backs were broken in this country. See, there hasn't been a forgiveness asked. We need to forgive. We need to hear those words. You need to and extend an apology to me, my ancestors, etc. You know what they did to us. They know what they did to us. And now that who knows what's in the COVID vaccine. We ain't even gonna go into that. But I think I got a $1,200 offer to do a study with the COVID vaccine. But with that said, AIDS, it's something every 10 years, I think. It's like a 10-year, I think it's a 10-year period. So every 10 years they got a gotcha moment. So I think it was the 80s, it was probably the 70s with LSD and all like that. That didn't take us out. And then they, the 80s, 90s, well, maybe the 90s into the 2000s, HIV AIDS, that didn't take us out. And now Ebola didn't take us out. And now, COVID-19. So my mother, friend, I think, I was telling her that she's coming up on 90 and relatively healthy on overall, but 90 nevertheless. And she came down with COVID, but she's fine, And I don't know what they do. I don't know. I've got my suspicions. That might be tomorrow's video. But we need to recognize that this country, there's nothing new under the sun. They've been doing this craziness definitely as long as I've been here, and my grandparents and my grandmothers and all that. They've endured so much. And just for their legacy and all that they went through, the least this country, they should want to pay us reparations because they see everything is going disarray. Everything is turned upside down because you're not giving and I'm not going to say giving, you're not paying back your debt. We are your debt. Whenever you see us, we represent a debt that you haven't paid. As long as you're not paying it, I'm back to Celie. Whatever you do is not going to be good. When she told Mister, that you do is going to crumble. And that's what we're seeing. So we want this country to pay the debt. So maybe, spiritually, the slate will be clean. The slate will be clean. And maybe there would be some peace, a sense of peace. We still have different players that are going to play the game of racial division, blah, blah, blah. We know that. That's what they're here to do. So, we know why they're here. But whenever you see me, my relatives, my ancestors that have gone on, I represent a debt. You should pay your debt in the United States. You should pay your debt. And your hands will be clean. Your hands are dirty now because you refuse. And even Kamala Harris, Vice President Biden, they're not even entertaining the whole reparations thing. But I guarantee, once you pay your debt, you clean house, pay your debt to us, be a new day. Be a new day. Be a new day. I wanted to mention there was an unfortunate situation that happened in the state of North Carolina. I heard about it. I don't know if it was, I forgot which. Oh, it was a social media. I think I saw it on TMZ or whatever. And this mother, soon to be mother, 9 months pregnant, she was asphyxiated, perhaps by hanging. I don't know that to be true, but or at least minimal strangulation. And they got, the guy looked like the white supremacist. I can't say guy. The white supremacist looked like he was biracial, maybe. The other, I think it was a husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, and they showed a picture of the white supremacist female, and she had a smirk on her face. But in North Carolina, they consider 2 deaths because I think in North Carolina, they count the baby, even though not born, as the second life. So I hope how horrendous. I hope she did not know them, but perhaps she did. They didn't go into all the details, probably to keep from inciting a race riot. And that's what they've been trying to do for quite a while. And so we need to be on our due diligence. Your young people just go in twos. We have to go with the times of the 30s, 40s, 50s, when ancestors would tell, go with your brother, go with your sister, when they couldn't go themselves, but there would be better protection. You'd have not a person going out solo. And especially the surroundings, what we're dealing with right now. We have a lot of people that are still upset for the election. So this is like 2 or 3 months in. And so they are taking it out. But that young lady was melanated. So her ancestral line, they ain't gonna have no peace. His and her ancestral lines not gonna have any peace. See, I know how they deal with pain. Well, we know how to deal with pain. Let me say that. We know how to deal with pain. We hold it in, we have to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. But that was a horrific act. And all the players are going to have consequences. That's what I'm going to say. 40 minutes on the video. So thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. We're going to go in through Thursday only. We're going to take Sunday off the table. I've got a busy schedule the next few weeks. I've got to get a lot of stuff done before the month ends. And so give me probably 40 minutes or so. This is the 41st minute. So we appreciate you tuning in. Stay safe, stay safe. If you can, go in twos, go in pairs. Just don't be out there solo. You don't know, not trying to put that energy out there, but we have to protect ourselves by any means necessary. So thank you for listening. Namaste, stay safe, and be well. We'll talk tomorrow. Ciao.